Lots of Mythicals are returning to the Pokemon ZA DLC, but we don't know much of their backstories. That's why they have Myth in Mythicals. Quick heads up, this video contains spoilers for every mythical Pokemon. It's based on the leak list. Most of them are expected to return, but a few might not. Starting with the main face of the DLC, Hoopa. Its design is inspired by a genie. The rings in the bottle references comes from stories like Aladdin, where the genies are sealed in objects and controlled through magical rings. Hoopa was praised for its impossible power. It started to become arrogant as everybody was just loving him. Hoopa literally pulled legendaries like Kyogre and Groudon from the sky and portals. He was just bringing them down, all onto this certain village that he was staying at. It did get humbled when Arceus came down though. Another bottle appears in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet's auction house. You may wonder why this bottle would appear in this game, considering that Hoopa wasn't able to be caught anywhere in this region. But it was possible to transfer it into Scarlet and Violet through Pokemon Home, or if someone caught it in Pokemon Go. So after it's transferred, the prison bottle from the auction can be used to make Hoopa into the Unbound form. But it is shiny locked. Darkrai is often misunderstood as an evil spirit, as it forces people into deep sleep and trap them in endless nightmares. But it isn't something that it chooses out of malice. It's actually uncontrollable, like a defense mechanism. Then what was Darkrai's true intention? If we go to the anime, Darkrai actually shows up before destruction. So when it gives people nightmares, it's not attacking, it's more like a warning of danger. It even sacrificed itself to stop the clash between Dialga and Palkia. And since it lives on New Moon Island, that place was usually described as strangely calm. It supports that Darkrai prefers isolation. Also, since it's a counterpart to Cresselia, they're not enemies in a good versus evil sense. They're like opposites, like yin and yang. Keldeo is the youngest cute horse of the legendary group called the Swords of Justice, which includes Cobalion, Terrakion, and Virizion. These four are inspired by the three musketeers, with Keldeo representing the young apprentice. There was once a time where humans caused a massive forest fire, and Keldeo was found as a little orphan. The three Pokemon in the legendary trio, which were the ones I mentioned earlier, they worked together to save Keldeo, and also the other Pokemon trapped in the fire. From then on, Cobalion was the one that taught discipline, while Terrakion was for its strength. And as we know, Virizion is just for its speed, grace, and awareness. Keldeo grew up wanting to be just like them. But to officially become part of them, Keldeo had to learn a sacred technique, which was called the Secret Sword. It was a special move that channels its horn like a blade, capable of cutting anything. Once it masters it, it undergoes a transformation into the Resolute form, which, as we could see, the horn becomes more sharper and its confidence is awakened. But this power was spiritual, so it had to harness it first. In the movie, Keldeo had some emotional moments here and there. It challenged Kyurem, who was the most feared dragon in Unova, but got defeated. It got its horn shattered. Its mentors were frozen while it was protecting it. Then Keldeo just ran away in shame. The important part is that its growth came from admitting fear while not pretending to be strong. It had to find real courage in itself. So in the final battle, Keldeo regrew its horn and entered the Resolute form while learning the true Sacred Sword move to protect the legendary trio and everyone else. Before we get to Meloetta's lore, let's just listen to its relic song in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. That sounded so good. Legends say Meloetta once traveled across regions, using its songs to calm violence and bring joy to people, and even end wars. People said that its melodies were believed to be so beautiful that the flowers bloomed in its presence. Even Piplup and Oshawott, who had a long history with being rivals as water-type starters, they both had a crush on Meloetta, and they were both fighting for her. So Meloetta has two forms that represent different sides of music. The first one was the aria form, as we saw earlier. It's a normal and a psychic type, while the second one is called the pirouette form. The typing is a normal and a fighting type this time. It's triggered when it uses the move Relic Song, and this form embodies dance, physical grace, and even passion. So stories say that Meloetta used this form to protect others during conflict. In the anime, Meloetta loved Ash and follows him due to his kind heart. It communicated mostly through its singing, but it was hunted for its power because its voice could activate artifacts. So it did lose its voice temporarily, and it needed protection, which is where Ash and all these trainers came into play. Genesect began as an ancient Pokemon that lived 300 million years ago. Now that is very long. But in its natural form, it was still one of the most powerful hunters, and it was able to track prey, obviously very quickly. But now in the modern times, the Team Plasma discovered this fossil, and instead of reviving it normally, they reconstructed it and bolted the cannon on its back. Their goal was to create the ultimate weapon, just like Lysander. But the sad thing is that Genesect never chose this. In its original times, it lived freely, and after its revival, its natural identity just went away. Many fans interpreted Genesect as a symbol of lost time. They were unable to just understand the new world entirely. Mewtwo recognized their pain because they were both created by humans and not born naturally. Magearna is one of the only mythical Pokemon built entirely by human hands. It was created 500 years ago by a brilliant inventor, but what makes Magearna unique is the Soul Heart. It was a mysterious core placed inside its chest, and it allowed it to feel emotions, sense the feelings of others, and even transfer its own life to save someone else. Magearna was originally created as a companion and a protector for a young princess of the Kalos royal court. It wasn't built for battle at all. It was built to just comfort the princess and watch over her. But while Magearna was doing this role, it became deeply connected to humans, especially the royal family. During a major conflict though, hinted to be like the war in Kalos, invaders attacked the palace. To protect the princess and the kingdom, Magearna used all its strength, but after the attack, it was heavily damaged, and it wasn't able to be used for a very long time. Zygarde came though and saved the day, transforming into its complete form and taking down the invaders' hideouts. Magearna retained all its memories and feelings all the way from 500 years ago. And it did have a relationship with Volcanion, as we do know that Volcanion is a very mysterious Pokemon, but somehow it did really hate humans because it just sealed itself away and lived in the mountains forever. Volcanion is just so rarely seen that most trainers don't know it exists in the Pokemon world. It even is the only fire and water type Pokemon. Just like Mewtwo, it was abused and experimented on. It protected Magearna, who was created by humans. Its relationship with Magearna was like a guardian. It was almost like it was a parent. And while Magearna is gentle and innocent, it still had a duty to protect her. Zeraora is a mythical creature literally born out of lightning. Its entire body generates massive electrical currents, letting it move faster than the eye could track. Unlike most mythicals, Zeraora didn't protect the region or follow trainers. It simply avoided civilization completely. The reason for this is that a massive wildfire once destroyed Zeraora's home. Because of human-caused disasters like this, it grew to distrust people and chose to live in isolation. It isn't evil, it's just traumatized and cautious. Despite avoiding humans, Zeraora is incredibly kind to other Pokemon. It secretly watched over the injured ones. It's basically a silent guardian of the wild. It acts from the shadows. And that wraps up the full lore behind every mythical Pokemon in the Pokemon ZA DLC. Thank you so much for watching. Like the video and subscribe for rare candy. See you in the next one.